hate that theme song. Hate that theme song. Fucking hate it. I fucking hate that theme song. Ugh. Lighting in here is terrible too. I have to like start Googling, like proper lighting and what I should get for lighting, because I mean, I don't know where the hell I'm at, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this. Guys, and welcome to another vlog from the Heathen Vegan. I'm happy that you guys are here and that you're tuning in and you're subscribing to my channel. I just gotta get comfortable for a second. That's really cool, man, and I appreciate it. I'm gonna do a vlog on Beverly Hills 90210 today, and I'm only doing it because of the fact that I have the theme song to it stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head for quite some time now. Whoa, it's called me Mike Pence. Could you fucking go away? Go. I go and, is there a fly on my head? I go and I brew a cup of coffee, and then I go and read my news feed. Now, I have the MSN news feed. I'm sure there's better ones out there, but I just decided that I was going to stick with MSN. I don't know why. Oh my god! So as I'm scrolling through my news feed, I see a picture of Jessica Alba. There is a big title underneath her face that says, "I was not allowed to look at the stars of Beverly Hills 90210 in the eye." She was a guest star on season 8 of 90210, and she played Leanne. And she was a single pregnant teenager. Does that sound right? A single pregnant teenager. She was single, and she was a pregnant teenager. I don't know. Whoever they are, I don't know if it was director, the producers, whoever was in charge of the show, they had said to her that she is not allowed to look any of the stars in the eye while she records her scenes. Now, they didn't get into which star it was. I was like, guys, I was like, I kind of want to watch that. The fucking fly near me still? Fly, you are not allowed in this episode. No, stop. Episode. I know they're videos. I call them episodes. I'm a fucking retard sometimes. I call my tripods easels. What else do I do? There's a slew of things that I do that that just makes me me. So it is what it is. But so I started watching the show. Behold, the fucking theme song to it has been stuck in my head for so long right now. What else can I do? So, you know, and I started researching the show. I found out some very interesting things about these people, but like, I was just really surprised, because it's not only Jessica Alba that they treated like shit. It was Hilary Swank, I think, was hired for 13 episodes. She got fired after 2. Give you a little knowledge here. But I wanted to start with the beginning of 90210. Let me just move my notes over here. I'll put my notes right. Can you see them? Look at. I have lots of notes on Beverly Hills 90210, like lots and lots. And then I have this. And then I have this also. This is my notebook with my 90210 tab of all the notes I have for 90210. And then this is my chronological, quote-unquote, order. This is how I organize things. This is how organized I am. But with this, though, so I put 90210 first, and, like, from all these things I went. And, yeah, I know, I could use a recorder or a much simpler process in doing this. But, like I said before, this is the way I do things, so this is the way they get done. But this is my system. 90210 is an American teen drama that was created by Darren Star. His very first script that got him famous, because he's also done other things. In fact, I think his most recent script that he has written or created is Emily in Paris, which is on Netflix, and that's a great show. Man, I love their outfits. Like, totally love them. So, and it's produced by Aaron Spelling. Now, for those of you that don't know, Aaron Spelling is Tori Spelling's father. Tori Spelling played Donna Martin on 90210. But I thought I wanted to put this in there too, because I thought this was kind of an interesting thing. For the first couple of years, his producing company, is that right? Producing company? His produce company? Well, it wouldn't be his produce company. I mean, that would be stupid. But his I don't know. But his company was called Torin, and it was with the first 4 letters of his 2 children, because he has Tori and he has Randy. So it was Torin. I thought that was pretty cool, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. I mean, it's not really anything important. At this point in time, a couple of things are going on. Fox, which is where 90210 originally aired, was a brand new network. They didn't even have a newsroom. Not only that, but Aaron Spelling, for the first time in 30 years, did not have a show that he was producing on air. So he's talking to the Fox network exec guys, or whatever they're called, and he wants to do a remake of Charlie's Angels, and I think he wants Tia Leone to be one of the stars in it, and this and that fucking fly. And they're like, no. They're like, oh my god. They're like, we want to do something different. We want to do a teen drama. Aaron Spelling's like, no, I don't do those things. That's just not my cup of tea. He goes home, and obviously Tori's there because Tori's his daughter and she lives with him. And Tori used to have this bad habit. She would always go through her father's briefcase and she would like go through his scripts. He comes home, puts the suitcase down, and she starts going through his scripts because Tori was an aspiring actress. She's reading his scripts and there's nothing good. So, he's looking for his suitcase too. And he's like, well, where's my suitcase? And, he finds her, he finds the suitcase. And he's like, Tori, why do you do this? Don't do this. As any father would say to his daughter that he dotes on. And she's like, Dad, there's, like, nothing good here. And then, so she's like, somehow the conversation gets brought up where she's like, I think, honestly, you should, and she didn't know, or I don't think so anyway, that he had been approached to make a teen drama. She's like, I think, Dad, honestly, what you should do, since there's not a lot of these types of shows going on, is, like, make a teenage show. Make a show that kids can relate to and whatever. He's like, yeah. He's like, maybe I will. So anyway, Aaron decides he hops on board. So they are going to make this teen drama with this brand new network. To find young teen stars at that point in time when they were in the middle of all of this was pretty difficult. I mean, a lot of these stars, a lot of the teenage stars were already signed on to other projects. I guess their skimming pool was very, very thin. Jenny Garth gets casted first. But it takes Jenny Garth 5 auditions. It takes Jenny Goff. Oh my god. It takes Jenny Goff. It takes Jenny Goff. You know what? It takes Jenny 5 auditions to actually be cast to the role as Kelly. She is the first one to be cast. So Tori goes to the interview, and Tori goes as, get this, Tori Martin, right? And she thinks she's fooling people, but they all know that she's really Aaron Spelling's daughter. Now she goes for, it's weird because like there's a lot of like misinformation, but that's what the internet is really good for. That, and one, it says that she did audition for Kelly. One, she wanted to be Andrea. But anyway, so from what I understand, she auditions for Kelly and she gets the role of Donna. Now Donna Martin is a very virtuous young lady, and we're going to get to Tori and her habits in a couple minutes. So Brian Austin Green and Ian Zierling, and then Andrea gets it. Now, Gabriella Carteris, when she auditioned for the role, she was 29 years old. She was the oldest cast member to be signed onto the show. But she lied, and she told them that she was 21 when she went to the audition. Now, Gabrielle, I almost called her Gabrielle because that's my oldest granddaughter's name, but she's like, Gabrielle goes, and she calls an attorney. She's like, hey, I need to know, am I going to get in trouble for that, or for lying about my age? And they're like, no, as long as you tell them that you're over 21. You don't have to tell them how old you are, but just tell them you're over 21. So she does that. She gets casted as the role of Andrea. Now, Luke Perry, he goes and he applies. He doesn't audition. He applies for this role. So he goes and he auditions for the role of Steve. Now, he was having a bad day that day. I don't really know, like, the logistics of what's going on. But, he looks at the script of Steve and he's just like, I'm not this fucking guy. I'm not this carefree playboy type of guy. And so he auditions, and he's kind of like rude to the network execs. From what I understand, I could be wrong. I could be misinformed. This is not a news channel. This is just the Heathen Vegan. I'm an online gluten-free vegan cooking kitchen that I guess likes to spread my little fingers and do other different shit. So anyway, obviously he doesn't get the role of Steve. Network execs are like, fuck this guy. So Tori goes up to her dad, and they're really close, which is kind of odd because as we get into the vlog later, he was worth $600 million and we left her $800,000. She's like, what about Shannon Doherty? She played Heather on Heathers. And she did a really good job. And Aaron's like, okay, and what about the role of Brandon? She goes, there's this hot young actor who just did a really good job on this last show that got canceled, and his name is Jason Priestley. Boom. That's how both Shannon and Jason get their roles. Now, the very first episode of 90210 aired on the 4th of October of 1990. It did not do well. It was a new show from a new network. It was lagging in the ratings. There was other more established networks, more established shows on, and this show is about to get canceled. Like, the first couple of seasons of this show, they actually recorded, and I think it was called Van Nuys or something like that, and the recording studio that they had was in the same building as a porn studio. So yeah, there's another bit of juicy knowledge for you. It just wasn't working out. And then, I forget who, but somebody had the brilliant idea that, so this was going on also. As the summer took hold, I think it was Desert Storm, that war was going on, and a lot of the TV stations, they were covering the war, and then they were playing their reruns. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Fox didn't, at that point in time, did not have a newsroom. So somebody, I forget who, had the brilliant idea. They're like, we can't really compete, and we needed to show everything that we got. So what saved 90210 from being canceled that year is because the fact that they had to fill up some airtime. And in filling up this airtime, 90210 didn't have any old shows for them to go and rerun. So they decided they were going to film a summer season of 90210. And that's when the Beverly Hills Beach Club was, how do you call it, invented, whatever. Just stick with me. We're getting there. The start of something real. This show blows up and becomes a global phenomenon. Not only that, this show also popularizes teen drama series, which a lot of teen dramas have spewed from since. Spewed. That's a weird word. Have come from since. Like, some say they invented it, some say they popularized it. I mean, from there you have so many teen drama shows, especially like the CW. You know, they're really famous now for putting out all these teen drama shows and everything like that. So 90210 ran for 10 seasons. It started the 4th of October of 1990, which their theme song has been stuck in my head since the 4th of October of 2000. No, 2020. And the last episode aired on the 17th of May of 2000. The only original cast from the very first show that lasted to the very last episode was Jenny Goth, Brian Austin Green, Ian Zierling, and who was the last one? Well, Tori Spelling. Duh. So, let's see. Let me make sure I got everything from my notes. Fox Network News. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think we covered everything on that page. The very first season, the kids, you know, Brandon and Brennan, they're Minnesotians. They're transplanted to this glamorous world. And, they start off in 11th grade, but after that summer season, all of a sudden they're in 11th grade again, and that's because the fact that, I mean, let's face it, I don't even know why, but that's just why. Not only that, but poor Shannon Doherty, like I said, she was my favorite character in the whole entire show, and rewatching it again now, she's still my favorite character. This girl was dubbed the 90s bad girl. She had the baddest reputation, this and that. But Jenny ends up getting the rap of just being this bad girl. She was dubbed, I think, 90s bad girl. There was actually even an I Hate Brenda newsletter, and when this newsletter comes out, I don't know if it was, because I didn't really Google this, I just kind of like, I read a couple of bits about it here and there. When this newsletter comes out, this is when her behavior, like, just really starts to, she just becomes unhinged. And, I mean, it's kind of understandable. These guys have worldwide fame. They're young. They're beautiful. They're rich. You know, everybody knows them, wants to be with them, wants to be them. So, and then that comes out, right? So, like, she kind of freaks out, and she gets into a fist fight with Jenny Goth, and she's always late, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So she does end up getting fired from the show. I guess a couple of different cast members had gone in and talked to Erin themselves directly, and it wasn't until Tori, now remember, Tori suggested Shannon to her dad, but Tori was the final straw in Erin actually firing her, because there had been numerous complaints against her from the other staff members, or cast, from the crew. Even the network execs wanted Erin to get rid of her, and he would not. It wasn't until Tori was like, yeah, she really needs to go, because Shannon actually had threatened Tori. She's not the only one who was prone to bouts of destruction. I mean, Jason Priestley, he punched Harvey Weinstein at the Miramax after Golden Globes, after the 1995 Golden Globes Awards. I don't know why he punched him in the face, because Harvey asked him to leave a party. But you know what? Who are we? Who are we but mere people to be stars? Then there was Brian Austin Green. He attacked a paparazzi. Hang on a second, real quick sip coffee. And then Ian Zierland. Now Ian Zierland, he didn't really ever have many roles to play in the show, but he had gotten a pretty big segment of one of the episodes. And he had gone to special acting classes and like did all this research and like spent a lot of time recording all these scenes. Now the network just decided they weren't going to show any of this, and they didn't even tell him that they weren't going to show any of this. So he destroyed each and every person's dressing rooms in there, which is pretty crazy, right? And then like Luke Perry had done some stuff too. So Shannon wasn't the only one acting up, but Shannon was the one that got fired. But the show was lacking, and it needed some teeth so that it could really like be gripping or. I don't know. I'm not a television producer. I mean, I produce my own shit here, but obviously, I'm not raking in millions. So, Aaron was like, I want Luke Perry to come on and play Dylan McKay. And the network execs are like, no, this guy, no, we can't fucking stand him. Absolutely not. No, 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 Barino. So he convinces them to get Luke on the show. And Luke was originally only supposed to, I think, do like 2 episodes. I think they call him an arc episode. I'm not exactly too sure what an arc episode is. But he was only supposed to do 2 episodes. And Aaron really, really liked him. And Aaron wanted him to be part of the show. He wanted him to star in the show. Which, it wouldn't be till like 2 or 3 years afterwards that the studio finally agreed to allow Luke to pay Luke. Because during that whole time frame, they allowed Aaron to keep Luke on. Luke even got a starring, billing role, whatever it's called, in the theme song, the fucking theme song. But Aaron was paying Luke out of pocket. It wasn't the network studio didn't start paying Luke, I think, till 2 or 3 years after he was already on the show. Now we're at the end of season 1, and Brenda loses her virginity. This is like another big thing that happened with the show, so that kind of needs to be stated. Where Brenda loses her virginity to Dylan at the dance. Now at the end of this episode, she loses it, and she doesn't even care. She's like, fuck yeah, I did it, yeah. But I guess apparently millions of parents called in, and they were livid, furious, mad. They were not happy, and so the people who sponsor the programs, they were threatened to pull out. They're like, listen. This is not right. So they rewrite the next couple episodes for season 2. And so they had to do that. That wasn't how the original series was going to go. It was going to go in a completely different direction. But because of the fact all these parents were like, hey, you're basically telling our teenage daughters, go out, girls, go lose your virginity, and it's okay, you'll love it. We're on the subject of 90210. I guess these actors were just flip-flopping each other around like anything. So Donna was supposed to be the virtuous one. In the show, she didn't lose her virginity on that show until the 7th season. The 7th season. That's 7 years into the show, guys. But in real life, she slept with all the male cast members except for Ian. Ian she made out with. But during that time, it should be noted also that Ian was sleeping with Gabrielle Carteris. Tori gets married. And her first marriage, and her marriage ends because, well, she's cheating on her husband. So she gets married a second time, and she gets married to I don't know the guy's name, McDermott. Now, he's cheating on her, right? He's cheating on her and whatever. But, guys, the very first night she met him, we're not even talking about going on a date, being in a relationship, nothing. But the very first night she met him, and I couldn't really find any details as to how she met him or whatever, but the very first time she meets him, she sleeps with him. Go you. And so now Tori has this rich dad, right? And unfortunately for Tori, I mean, we haven't really seen her in a lot of things, and that's because of the fact that after he passed, she couldn't get any acting jobs, which is kind of sad because if you think about it, even in 90210, I think she did a pretty decent job. I didn't see anything wrong with her. But so Aaron, when he passed, was worth $600 million. And he only left Tori $800,000. Now, Tori had a really bad spending habit. So Tori's spending right now is worth $500,000. $500,000. Now, before I get into that, I do want to make this known too real quick. So Aaron left all of the rest of his money to his wife, which is, you know, the mother of both Tori and Randy. There's really not a lot of information on Randy, how much was left to him or whatever. And so she kept a tight leash on it because she didn't want to get broke, and that made Tori really mad. And Tori didn't talk to her for a long time. In fact, they weren't even talking when she gave birth to her first child. But I wanted this to be noted so that we don't think that she's like a total wicked witch. Tori's mother pays for each and every one of Tori's children. Now remember, Tori has 5 kids. Pays all of their expenses. Their schooling, their clothing, all of their expenses she pays for. So, bravo, Mrs. Spelling, bravo. And hopefully Tori appreciates that, which she probably doesn't. There's a couple other things too I'm going to share. So, when Jason Priestley first got hired, he was actually roommates with Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt, the script for Thelma and Louise, came to their apartment, and Jason Priestley stole his script. Obviously, he gave it back to him because Brad Pitt played in Thelma and Louise. So that's that, guys. That's that. Jason Priestley. He was born on the 28th of August, 1969. And he is a Canadian-American actor. He's also a director. He actually directed a couple of the 90210 episodes. And obviously he's best known for playing Brandon Walsh. Also known for playing the main character in a show called Call Me Fitz. He played Richard Fitzpatrick. Oh my god. He played Richard Fitzpitt. Oh my god. He played the lead role, okay? And that show lasted from 2010 to 2013. Now, during that time period, I think, because he'd become a race car driver for a little bit of time, and I think it was between 2010 and when he left 90210 that he was doing this. He stopped doing that because he got into a bad car accident, and he screwed up his spine, and I guess he was pretty lucky not to get paralyzed from it. So, obviously, he took a break from that. Brandon left the show at the 9th season, but he remained on to produce it until the show ended. And Shannon Doherty started out, I know I can't pronounce it, but she started out her acting career as Jenny, I think Jenny Wilder, on Little House on the Prairie. I guess she had known Michael Landon, and Michael Landon really liked her, so he gave her that role. And she was on that from 1982 to 1983. And then, she played in some other different roles. She was in Heathers, and then she got her spot in Beverly Hills 90210, which lasted from 1990 to 1994. She's very big about being a Republican. Like she's always been big about that. I guess she's been a Republican even when she was on 90210, which I guess that was another reason too why her and her co-stars had gotten to a lot of how do you call it? Tiffs, I guess. Tiffs. Well, let's call them tiffs. The biggest thing that she did after 90210, she played in Charmed, and she got fired from there too because she couldn't get along with Alyssa Milano. But let's be fair here, guys, because when Tiffany Amber Thiessen, I think that's her name, when she replaced Brenda on 90210, Jenny Goth, she didn't get along with Amber, Tiffany, whatever the fuck her name is. She didn't get along with her. So, I mean, come on. We can't... I think back then, everybody just wanted to hate Brenda. Poor fucking Brenda. Like, come on, give the girl a break. After that, she didn't really do much of anything. But her net worth, though, believe it or not, is a lot more than Tori's. Her net worth is... some sources say $4 million. Some sources say $8 million. Jason Priestley's net worth is, I think, between $10 and $16 million. And, Shannon was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years back, and originally she didn't want to have a mastectomy, so she did some other stuff, and it spread to her lymph nodes, so she ended up having a mastectomy, and then she had chemotherapy because of the fact that it had spread, and she was in remission, and I guess earlier this year, or later on, or the later part of last year, she actually said that her cancer had came back, and she's in stage 4, so poor Shannon, man. That really sucks. I always was really, really big fan of hers, so we have, who's next? Like, how does the next, we're just going to do how I remember. We pretty much did Tori, so we don't need to go and do Tori again. Brian Austin Green, he's reportedly worth about $2 million, and, I mean, he didn't really do a whole bunch either. Like, his big claim to fame after 90210 is marrying Megan Fox. which, I mean, he's not with her now. She's with Machine Gun Kelly. Then we have Iron Sealing. God, why is that name so hard? Ion Zierling. There we go, that's it. So he's worth $8 million. He's worth $8 million for a couple of reasons. So he starred in Sharknado after 90210, and it's so bad that it's good. And he really didn't even want to do this movie, but he wasn't getting any jobs, and he had a family support because he's married and he has 2 kids. So he's done 5 of those movies. I think the last one he got paid $500,000 to do it. And then he also, he ventured off. He's done some other things. He has a clothing company called Chain Brand. Gabriella Carteris. She's worth, like I said, like, don't get me wrong. the worth of a person isn't based on their money, but I just think that it's funny that when Jessica Alba went to go star on the show, that she wasn't allowed to look any of them in the eye. So Gabriella Carteris is worth, I think, between $2 and $4 million. And her big thing is after she left 90210, she's like the president of the SAG-AFTRA, which is like some kind of like, it's almost like a Hollywood actors union. So she's the president of that. Jenny, both Jenny and Tori have things that they sell on the home shopping networks. Like Tori has jewelry that she designed that's on the home on HSN, and then Jenny Garth designed a mom's basket with it's $100. You get collapsible tote, 2 face packs, a loofah, and then this bracelet that's filled with sand. I think like it's supposed to be reminiscent of 90210. Jenny's worth a couple of million too, and she was married to Peter Fascitelli. He, if you don't know who he is, he played the father vampire in Twilight. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was like Carmine or something like that. But he played that guy. Now, up until he got the role in Twilight, she was the breadwinner. She made the most money. Now, I mean, this is kind of odd, and I don't really understand what happened, but I guess apparently, as soon as he got fame from that, and he was making more money, he filed for divorce from her. The only thing she did was she starred in a sitcom, I think from 2002 to 2006, with Amanda Bynes, and I forgot the name of that. Sorry. And then there is Luke Perry. Luke Perry passed away last year from a stroke. He was 52. And he did a few things off and on throughout the years too. He's worth like I think $8 to $10 million. And he after 90210, he wanted to keep a low profile because he'd gotten married and he had a couple of children, and he didn't really want them in the lifestyle that he was in. He did end up playing the father on the show Riverdale that's on Netflix. So that's going to wrap it up for this vlog. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that, I hope that it was informative and entertaining at the same time. My fly guest star has flew the coop, so to speak. I don't know what happened to him, but that's okay. And yeah, like this all started because I had that stupid theme song stuck in my head forever. I'm gonna wrap up this vlog! And until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this vlog, If you like this vlog, please leave a like. And yeah, I'm thinking I have some great recipes that I'm gonna start working on as the holiday season approaches for the online gluten-free kitchen. Some really good like cupcake recipes and appetizers, some dinner recipes as we start getting into the holiday season. I have a couple of those recipes going on. Also, I kind of like doing these vlogs where I do like informative things. So, and I was thinking about doing one on Marie Laveau. If you guys have any ideas of what you'd like me to do vlogs on, definitely leave a comment down below. I would love to get more ideas. I still want to do the urban exploring thing, but I haven't really gotten to that yet. And I do want to do that live streaming thing where we all get together and chat. And it seems as though we're getting more people that want to participate in that. So that's a good thing too, and we'll start getting the ball rolling on that. Until next time, my friends, I hope that you're good to the planet, that you're good to the animals, that you're good to each other, and most importantly, I hope that you're good to yourselves, because in the end, you're the only one that you have. Alright guys, until next time, see you soon.